Hi, this is Christian Chase with Chase Real Estate and Chase Foreclosure. What I'd like to talk about today is how to find the hot markets. And we have software that our investors can actually use and see where properties are actually selling, where properties are flipping. So you can see in the entire Chicagoland area the hottest markets and where properties are being flipped. And that means if you see in a particular area or a particular town 12, 15 properties in one area that have been flipped, you probably want to know a little bit more about that area and likely invest in that area because other investors are having success. And not only can you just see the property itself that something sold, you can get all the data about it. You can get how many bedrooms, baths, all the photos of what did that investor do to that property to get it fixed up and get it sold, how many days on market did it take them to sell it, how many days did it take them to renovate the property. And there's thousands and thousands of properties that you're going to be able to see throughout the Chicagoland area. And I'm going to do a quick tutorial for you here in just a second to show you how you are able to actually see what are the hottest markets for flipping homes in the Chicagoland area. Let's take a look. Okay, well, let's start searching for some flip properties and hot areas where properties are selling. And here we are. I pulled up Homewood itself. And we can see within the last 12 months, properties that have been fixed and flipped that are single family and have an ARV greater than 75%. So there's a lot of properties that have been flipped within the Homewood area, and we can kind of tell certain neighborhoods are seeing a lot of action of flip activity. And so what I'm going to do is let's just pull up a property and kind of analyze this. What kind of details can we get to make a decision on if we have let's say we find a foreclosure property and it's located in Homewood and we say, hey, wow, this general area has a lot of activity, a lot of buy, fix, and sell properties that have occurred. These are all sold properties, remember, these are not active properties. These are homes that have been bought, fixed up, put back on the market, and resold. So let's go ahead and click on a property here. This particular property, it was 187th in Homewood. Property sold for $214,000. It closed on April 5th of 2019. We can see all the photos. These are the after photos of the property. And it was nicely renovated on the inside of the home and the exterior, new cabinets, new wood flooring, new stainless steel appliances. As we scroll down a little bit further, we can even pull up before and after. So we can see what the property looked like before when the property was sold on 10/22 of 2018. And we can look at the interior photos of the property. And then we can do our comparison next to it and see what it looks like after the property had been all fixed up and cleaned up. So what does this do? This gives us a pretty good idea. One, we just learned, hey, this area, Homewood, is pretty darn hot. There's a lot of action happening in the Homewood area with buy, fix, and sells. A lot of investor activity. So on top of that, now we can see that the deal details, essentially. The house was 1,131 square feet when the property was purchased. It was purchased for $105,000. It was then sold for $214,000. That's a $109,000 price change. So it went up in price. The price per square foot was $93 per square foot. It was a 3-bedroom before, 3-bedroom after, 2-bedroom before, 2-bedroom after, or 2 baths after, 2-car garage before, 2-car garage after, 1-story before, 1-story after. The construction period was 81 days to remodel this property. So the investor took 81 days to do the renovation. The total hold time was 165 days from the time that they bought it to the time that they resold the property. And the property was on the market. Days on market was a total of 84 days. Now, days on market is including the time that it was listed for sale and the time it took for the buyer to close. So this gives us a pretty good idea. In 165 days, the investor bought the property for $105 and sold it for $214,000. So this gives us a really, really good insight to this particular area. What level does the property need to be taken to in rehab? What did they probably do to the inside based on these photos? It looked like it needed quite a bit of work. So they needed a spread like that to be able to make this particular property work. So this is just in Homewood. But now, if we were to just take out Homewood, and let's just remove Homewood completely from our search, and just click search, and we're going to search the entire Chicagoland area. And what we're able to do for investors, as this is loading, we're able to, if you are searching in a particular area, all you have to do is reach out to us, and we can set you up on this exact search here that you're seeing, and you will be able to see the hot flip areas, where are properties being flipped in the last 12 months, which are what are the very, very active markets. And I would encourage you to look at a smaller segment, maybe not the entire Chicagoland area, but if you're looking in the Carroll Stream, Glendale Heights, Wheaton, Wooddale, Schaumburg area, you know, you kind of look at that and watch where are those properties actually being flipped. And the one thing that we did notice is down in the Orland Park area, there's very little flip activity that's occurring down there. But if I go over to Homewood, there's a ton of flip activity. In Melrose Park and Westchester, lots of flip activity. This tells you that investors, and you can dig deep on each one of these to find out all the details. How did that investor perform? How long did it take him to do the construction? How long did it take to sell the property? So it's something that we would be totally able to send out to you and set you up on a search. It'll come over daily, and in the areas that you're looking in, or really kind of track and see what is actually happening in those particular markets. So it's a really, really powerful tool, and our investors, I know, can use this to analyze what are the hot markets. It's the number one question I get when I meet an investor or have an existing investor is, where should I be investing? And this is telling you exactly where to invest. Wow, is that a powerful tool or what? I think the biggest thing is I've been in real estate for almost 25 years. I can feel if a market is hot just by my gut feeling. But I think I also need to have hard data that shows me that there's a lot of activity happening and what exactly investors are doing in that particular market. So not only do you need to know it in your gut, you need to know it up here. And how do you get it up here is with proven data. Thanks, and visit chaseforeclosure.com.